I guess the Playboi Carti one kind of makes sense. So his I Am Music album went number one. I don't think that's shocking. I guess what's confusing is I guess the bundling of this. I guess if this album would have came out like a year ago or 2 years ago, it would have done almost close to like double the numbers as far
Mm.
as what counts as far as like the 500,000 sales, whatever. I think it ended up doing close to like 260,000, which was still a great release. But so yeah, what are your thoughts on like some of these artists? I think we spoke about this before. I know Billboard has like because like artists like Nav will like if you buy a shirt from Off White, then it counts as an album sale. So like, what are your thoughts when like artists are like, I guess not hold. I don't want to hold it against Playboi Carti, but like that's a part of your like marketing gimmick. And gimmick sounds harsh, but like your marketing plan to like make your numbers look a certain way when like merch or other purchases need to be involved.
Mm. I mean, I understand it, like the whole vanity of it. Unfortunately, and I think academics is a good example of this, but it's like in this day and age, how much you sell is kind of your entire worth or uh value to the genre. And if you don't hit above, six figures in streams, then you're basically quote unquote a nobody. You fell off, you can't sell shit. So I feel like I don't know if it's the artist is necessarily pushing it because I feel like they're not. I mean, they obviously have a big ass team that is doing all this shit for them. So I feel like it's really ultimately the label just trying to ensure that they can,
Monetize everything.
yeah, monetize everything, put on this show for the artist and reputation that they're able to sell X amount, even if, it might be the same X amount of people streaming it over and over and buying shirts and doing all this extra shit. So I'm not mad at the game. I just wish it weren't that way because now I don't even like really respect these numbers all that
Yeah.
much. Like if it's ridiculously low, it's one thing, but when an artist sells 70 and this one 100, this one 400, like it's starting to not mean much to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because I feel like, do you think that's also because like we're just essentially still from a time like we remember like when people were like buying CDs. So like when Lil Wayne, the
Yeah,
Carters,
there's an effort required.
three so a million copies digitally, not digitally, physically in 1 week. You're like, okay, bro, this is like undeniable. This is like
Right.
something here is happening that's like a movement. Whereas sometimes with these streams, it's like everyone's getting a platinum plaque, and I'm like, that song got a fucking
Yeah.
platinum plaque, like.
Yeah. And I think part of it, like for instance, with Playboy Cardi, I think we both listened to it out of just curiosity's sake, for curiosity's sake. But I highly doubt you and I would go drive to Best Buy and spend $20 to get the shit unless we were already a big fan. So to me, that's where it gets kind of muddy because a lot of music I listen to accidentally, or it might be one song out of the 30 on the album, yet that's still driving, quote unquote sales. So it's weird to me. And I as an artist myself, I know there's if I wanted to, like I could game the system and make it look like I have 500,000 streams, which is why I just don't really put too much what's the word? I don't know, weight into
Yeah.
into the numbers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Do you blame at all like Billboard for kind of quote unquote changing the rules last minute and like making these like artists like go down a certain marketing route that ends up not being, fruitful how they had it in mind?
I think so. Um but I feel like it probably still I mean if it works to their benefit, then I understand why they would implement these sorts of rules. Um I'm just trying to understand how much it could truly benefit them to go this route and like what
Benefit the artist or benefit Billboard for changing it?
benefit Billboard for changing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't see the benefits of Billboard besides like trying to make it as black and white as possible and it's such like gray situation, right? Because like certain streams count, Then they have like the TikTok charts that they don't count apparently. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just like it just seems so complicated. And again, I know we're meant to like get with the times or whatever, but it just feels like it's too complicated for yeah, you and I running up G and X or whatever a million times. I don't think should count as if we bought 10 albums one day.
Right.
You know, like it's not the same thing.
Right. And yeah, it's crazy to me, especially because all those streams, and just using like a super basic example, like nowadays, I think it's a playlist economy, and people are just kind of going to whatever playlist they're told to play at this coffee shop or at this pool party, and they don't necessarily even know who the fuck half these people are that are playing, but they're still running up the streams.
Yeah, that counts. They count. I
Right.
mean, again, this could be a
It's just
conversation
not
we have for
intentional.
like we've been having for 4 years, and we probably will keep having for like the next 10. But I think it's just crazy how like I guess to be a part of the drastic shift, right? Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
not like some shit that happened back in the 60s. This is like, bro, like I remember the Carter. Probably the Carter was like the last run of these albums that people actually wanted the physical copy for. But to go from 2008 to 2025, and it's just like, what counts? This counts. That doesn't count. But if I played on YouTube nonstop, that counts. Like, why the fuck does YouTube count? You know, like that's
Right.
the weird shit.
Right. I mean, I know this is a super gray area, but I just thought of something. So, like, Drake's team admitted to paying like TikTokers and stuff to make Nokia challenges. Do you deem that as just like any other form of marketing, or would you consider that like along the lines of like merch manipulation or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it kind of just all falls in line because maybe more marketing. Because like if you do like a TikTok thing, you're essentially just trying to get more eyes on your content and then
Yeah.
have people actually stream the songs. Because from what I know, I feel like Billboard did come out with a separate TikTok chart, right? So like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's different. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's more like I would count that more as marketing, but even that doesn't feel great. You know, like it
Right.
doesn't. Like again, maybe I'm just like too old, but like I just want like, bro, we're all listening to your shit because we genuinely think your shit's really good, right? That's why I love singles, right? I love like the
Right.
music videos. I love the billboards in fucking Times Square. It's like, yeah, bro, like this makes sense. Like I'm curious, as opposed to you drop an album on 2 days of marketing or teasing snippets, and then it's inevitably going to do like crazy numbers, and it's just like I don't know. It just feels weird.
Right. And as like a an artist on a much smaller level, obviously, I've always it always felt kind of slimy to and cringy to try to make enforce funny content on TikTok and do this and that. And in my head, I'm like, if I had 30 million followers or however many followers these guys have, I would love to just wake up Monday morning while I'm eating breakfast and fucking hit release and have like the music video come out after a couple like Instagram stories. And
Yeah,
organically, it would have to, if it's good enough, it would have to do its rounds. So it's weird to me that a lot of these major dudes have to resort to like the same kind of tactics that a mid-level artist might have to do
yeah,
to get eyeballs.
yeah, for sure. Staying on the Playboy Cardi aspect of it, though, have you gone back to the album at all? And if so, like any second thoughts on like what we said last episode?
um I haven't really gotten back to the album, to be honest. I did a couple times for good credit. I actually did like the Kendrick verse. um I think, what was that is it Evil Jordan? um
So what they have Evil Jordan,
what's the Jordan
Backdoor.
song? Yeah, Evil Jordan is dope. And like Wheezy. The reason why I like that one, and I know we're on the topic of like kind of marketing and stuff, was because I forget if I sent it to you, but IG slash YouTuber named Lennar did like a funny video where it's like him dancing alongside like a bunch of cartoony characters to the
Mm,
song, and they're all doing different dance moves and stuff. And listening to it and watching it for some reason made the song that much more fun. I think it
mm.
visualized what that song would meant be meant to how it would make you feel,
Sure.
and I was able to understand it better. So I think there is uh, something to Cardi's image and visuals that attract people more than just listening to the music. Because I know we had a tough time kind of understanding what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would say I heard it a couple more times, mainly because there was like a mix that I found, and a lot of the songs were on the mix. But I would say the weekend song definitely is a good one. I think that's like a really good song. I mean, maybe it's the weekend or maybe just
Nice.
the beat. Again, I think you appreciate the production quality a lot. I mean, again, I think we appreciate it right away, but I think after a few spins, you're like, all right, this is like really quality production. Dude,
Yeah.
do you remember how the hook goes with the Future song? 'Cause
Um, what is it? Charge these hoes a fee or whatever.
yeah, charge these hoes with feet. That's a new song, right? That's on the album.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, because that I like that one as well. Which one is that one? Which one is that one? Which one is that one? Charge them. Oh, literally, just charge them hoes
Yeah.
with feet.
Charge some hoes a fee. Yeah.
Oh my god, shame on me for thinking it'd be something creative. Like,
No, you're not gonna get that in these titles.
yeah, yeah, no, that one. Yeah, I thought that one was really good. That one felt like a March Madness old school Future thing, which is
Yeah.
funny because I know we're gonna talk about Ye in a bit, and he called Future washed. But yeah, I think for the most part, all these songs. I'm not changing my review from 2 weeks ago, but I think it's like, yeah, you got everyone you do every other song with again to do another song with you, and they all kind of still sound the same, even though slightly different. So you can say it's nuanced, but like I feel like again to what you mentioned earlier, being in a playlist environment, like if you made a playlist of all their songs together, I think it would just sound like one long song. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know, man. I don't know if that's what you should be aspiring to be. Like, if the majority of your songs are going to have features, and those features inevitably be the same 4 or 5 people, and these songs all just kind of sound the same. Like a lot of these songs sound like a lot of the same Metro Future songs that they had on their two fucking albums. Like,
Mhm.
so yeah, it was just that part is a little bit again weird.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Playboy Carti is someone who I won't say isn't for me musically because there's a lot of stuff from him I do like. I think I'm comfortable with knowing probably most of his stuff isn't for me, and I'm
Yeah,
fine with that. I appreciate how like I know the music isn't that different from what like Future and a lot of people are doing, but I do appreciate the moments where he is doing crazy shit and it kind of sounds like hard rock or like it's just so different from what I'm accustomed to hearing. Even if I don't like it, I'm happy that he's taking the time to, release a few songs here and there that sound like nothing I've heard of. Um, and it's just impressive that he's able to do all this while doing like one interview every 10 years.
yeah. And that interview, he's robbing poor Aiden
Yeah,
Ross.
Robin Adrian Ross.